Yo, it's Mills, man, aka the Tattoo Therapist. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. I want to get straight to the point, man. I get this question all the time from new clients, potential clients, people inquiring about work. You know, that people always ask, how much do you charge? Or people will say, how much for a sleeve? How much for, you know what I mean? Real vague things. So I just wanted to make a quick video and try to explain it in a very brief amount of time, right? So if you Google how much do tattoo artists charge or what do tattoo artists make on average, Google will tell you anywhere between $100 an hour to $300 an hour on average. Not someone who's like really popular, someone who has a lot of experience, super high quality. They say nothing about that. They on average $100 per hour to $300 per hour. So I typically am somewhere in that range. You know what I mean? I've definitely, for pieces that haven't taken me very long, I've charged a nice amount of, a couple $100s and vice versa. Sometimes I've worked as long as 8 hours for $300 or $400, depending on the situation. So, there is no set in stone way that I do my pricing, especially because I've been really focusing on learning branding, marketing, and for entrepreneurs out there, I definitely suggest that you type in on YouTube how to attract high paying clients and see where that leads you. Because I just got to a point this December to be 10 years for me tattooing professionally, and I really am ready to reach that next level in terms of my clientele, the type of pieces that I get, so the way to do that is to basically charge, well, this is what they will tell you, these gurus and experts, they'll tell you to charge for value rather than per hour. And I agree wholeheartedly, and I've been somewhat using that method and another method, which I'll get to shortly. Charging for value rather than charging per hour is really smart in my opinion, and here's why. I did a guest spot. Many of you are familiar with the show Ink Master. There's a great artist by the name of Halo who works out at Maryland. He has a shop in Maryland, and I did a guest spot. And I asked him about it, like, what do he think about, working per hour or for value? And he was saying for value because he's very proficient at certain styles and genres of tattooing. So if you do a tattoo that will take you 3 hours and I do it and get it done in an hour and a half, why should I only get half the pay because I'm more efficient? And especially if I'm doing a better job, so you kind of get the short end of the stick when you do hourly. And I've had clients before who are weary about the, or skeptical about the idea of paying per hour because they feel as though, oh, you can just work all day and take your sweet old time and we just on the clock paying. And, I think that's a valid argument, and I understand where you're coming from, but that's also why it's imperative that you, work with an artist who you really trust, who you understand their brand and what they stand for. But that's another video. So, but sticking strictly on pricing, one thing that I've really been liking to do as well in terms of a different method is asking a client their desired budget. You know what I mean? Because what'll happen is sometimes someone will come and ask, how much for this, and or they may have a reference photo, or they may describe it, and if you describe it to me, I'm going to think of a way that I can do it like my most elaborate. Like if I put my all into it, take the greatest amount of time to do it and really do it the right way to my best ability, so it's always going to be the biggest and the best that I think I can do. So the price is going to reflect that. But oftentimes people aren't necessarily prepared to pay that. So with that being said, I would rather just ask you, okay, hey, how much do you feel like you're capable of charging, or of paying? What is the most amount that you feel comfortable paying? Because I don't want to charge too little. Sorry, feeding my son. I don't want to charge, too little if you're capable of affording something more elaborate and large and, detailed. And I don't want to charge too much and scare you away, which is, I'm working on eradicating that thought process as well, because, but that's going to actually be another video as well on why, you shouldn't try your best. We as artists, a lot of times try our best to work with our clients and give good pricing that people can afford. But, yeah, so I'll explain that later. But I'm working on that. So, it really comes down to you as the consumer, as the person getting the tattoo. It's ultimately up to you what you end up paying. It's not about what I'll charge because at the end of the day, I can charge what I want. That doesn't mean that you're going to come to me and get it done. So it's much better as opposed to saying how much for X, Y, and Z. If you say, listen, this is the type of tattoo I'm interested in getting. I have this budget that I don't want to exceed. And, and let the tattoo artist tell you what they can and cannot do. It just cuts right to the chase, because me as the artist, when I say, hey, so what is your desired budget? You don't want to exceed how much? People feel as though, I don't know why, but it seems like they feel that I'm counting their pockets, you know what I mean? Or like, if you say, oh, I only want to spend $200, like I think that $200 is all you have to your name. I know that that's totally, you could have $2,000, but that doesn't mean that you can afford. That doesn't mean that you can comfortably afford to pay $2,000 for a tattoo. It's just not responsible enough. I get it. It's about how much you feel comfortable paying. So yeah, in terms of pricing, there is no set hourly rate. Sometimes I will do, depending on the time of year, how busy I am, and how much I need funding, I'll come down, man, because I understand that my demographic is mostly at this time blacks. I probably tattoo 80% or higher, 90% people of African descent from low middle to middle class, type of individual, some low class as well. And I like that because I'm a tattoo therapist, and I feel like my people really need me. I understand, and I'm in that category as well. I'm by no means rich, so I will come down because I love what I do. I love art, but at the same time, I want to feel like I'm being appreciated for the work that I put in, the 10 years, the quality that I provide. So, in conclusion, if you would like to get a tattoo by me, inquire. Let me know from the jump how much you can comfortably afford to spend. And I will say, that's a decent budget. I can work with it. Or, I may let you go. But keep in mind, at the end of the day, when we talk about value and charging for value, I do a good quality work, high quality. Amen. Quiet, baby. I do high quality work, you understand? But even if I didn't, even artists who don't, they're still rendering a service that is forever, that's never leaving your body. And I find it very interesting that we feel much more comfortable spending $100, $200 on some shoes, $300 on some shoes. But when it comes to a tattoo that's permanent, you'd be surprised at how many people feel some type of way about spending that much. You know what I mean? On some clothing or a belt or something like that you're not gonna have forever. Hopefully, I hope and pray this never happens. But if there's a house fire, you can lose all that shit and it's gone. But this tattoo is on you for life. Not to mention the therapeutic aspect. Whether you came in intentionally trying to get that therapy or not, I'm always going to promote entrepreneurship. I'm always going to promote a healthy plant-based lifestyle that at the end of the day can save your life. How you put a price on that? You know what I mean? You can't. Every single client of mine has a 1 of 1. That means their tattoo will never be duplicated. Never. Most times their tattoo has been drawn specifically for them, won't go on anyone else. And you know, there is, I would say, a 1%, 2% chance that I may take a reference if someone brings me in a reference that I really like and admire, you know, but it's very rare. And when I do portraits as well, I use the reference photo. Other than that, these are original designs, most of the time original concepts, and you know, in a comfortable private environment where you can learn, be inspired, and be motivated, leave feeling empowered. So, you know, when it comes to pricing and whatnot, keep that in mind. When you let me know your desired budget, just make it the most that you can comfortably afford, not the least. And I'll explain why that's a wise choice in another video. But with that being said, let me get to these boys of mine. Peace.